Hey guys, I'm Mark from A Portion of Sport and welcome to the Premier League review. This is a new series for this channel where I am going to look back at the weekend games in the Premier League, go through the results, and at the end we'll take a look at the table. So without further ado, let's go into our first match. So these are the results from this weekend. If you want, you can click on a game now. It will take you to the time in this video so you can just listen about that, or the times are in the description for you to go click on. So now let's get into the first match. So we start off with Hull City versus Leicester, the reigning Premier League champions Leicester. The first game of the season, however, did give us our first upset of the season. Hull City, who were playing their first game back in the Premier League after being relegated in 2015, took on defending champions Leicester City. The game looked like it was going into half-time 0-0, but in the 45th minute, Diomande scored an overhead kick. It is his, we have confirmed, it is his goal. It was unsure whether it was Diamande's or Hernandez, I think it was, who was there, but it has been confirmed as Diamande's. 14 seconds, however, into the second half, Hull City gave away a penalty and Riyad Mahrez converts from the spot. Hull City were not happy with the draw as Robert Snodgrass scored with a beautiful finish in the bottom corner to make it 2-1, and that's how it finished. Leicester City are the only team who have ever won the league and then lost the following season's opening game. So we move on to Arsenal versus Liverpool. Sorry, Jack. We had to wait 30 minutes until we got our first bit of action in the game as Theo Walcott was brought down in the penalty area by Alberto Moreno. You fucking idiot, Moreno. And the referee awarded a penalty. The man who won the penalty also took the penalty, but Simon Mignolet dives the right way and saves the penalty. It wasn't the best penalty, it was medium height. You know, easy save. If he goes the right way, he's saving it. But Walcott wasn't down in the dumps for long. 69 seconds later, Walcott tucked in a shot from the edge of the box at the far corner due to Moreno being out of position. Seriously, how is he still under contract? The game did look like it was going into the half 1-0, but cometh the hour, cometh the little magician Philippe Coutinho, gets a free kick about 20 yards out, 20 to 30 yards out, and he places it in the top left corner, beating Petr Cech. Petr Cech is a good keeper, it takes a lot to beat him, but oh my days, that free kick though was fucking brilliant. After scoring just before half-time, Liverpool come out and score just after half-time. New boy Jorginho Wijnaldum clips the ball into the box and Adam Lallana controls it nicely and squeezes the ball underneath the legs of Petr Cech. Liverpool were not done there though. Coutinho again came forward. Some brilliant football from Liverpool. Nathaniel Klein and drove the ball into the box and Coutinho is able to slot it home first time with his shin. Liverpool were not content with just 3 because 5 minutes later, new boy Sadio Mane burst down the right hand side. He has got pace. He is on drugs. He is on drugs. That pace is unreal, the way that he ran. He was on afterburners. So after Sadio Mane bursts down, he cuts inside the box and smashes the ball in the far post, beaten Cech again. Arsenal would not go down lightly. Just 2 minutes after going 4-1 down, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain came on as a substitute, dancing between the Liverpool defence in a gorgeous solo run before putting the ball past Mignolet. And Liverpool's set-piece defending from last season came back to haunt them once more this season. Santi Cazorla swung in a free kick in which Callum Chambers rose the highest and stuck the ball into the far side of the net with his forehead. But the game would end 4-3 in what was the best match of the opening weekend so far. I'm recording this before the Chelsea-West Ham game. I'll record that tomorrow, it's fine, we'll just leave it at that. After going 1-0 down early on in the game, to come back and score 4 goals unanswered showed a brilliant amount of composure and says a lot about Jurgen Klopp's half-time team talk. Arsenal fans shouldn't be too disheartened about the result. It was great attacking play, and a lot of Arsenal fans, including our very own Jack, isn't happy with the summer signings made by Arsene Wenger. Arsenal fans for years have been screaming at Arsenal to buy a world-class striker, but either Arsenal doesn't feel like he has to, or he has a hard time understanding English. But I'm just going to leave this video here. This is Jack, who made a video about Arsene Wenger. It was hilarious. Just go watch it, and we'll move on to the next game. So we'll move on to Bournemouth versus Manchester United. What was looking to be a very dull first half, Juan Mata, the man whose place in the team was being heavily questioned after the signing of Mkhitaryan, pounces on the ball after a weak back pass from Simon Francis. The keeper saves the initial shot, but it bounces off of Francis's foot and it falls again to Juan Mata, and he was able to make it 1-0 0. Manchester United would double their lead 20 minutes into the second half after Anthony Martial drags his shot horribly wide. Like, you would be forgiven for thinking that it was a cross. It was a shit shot. But Wayne Rooney is able to head the ball into the net, and only 5 minutes after that, Manchester United would add a third to the score, and who else but Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the Swedish superstar, strikes the ball from about 25 yards out and it finds its way into the bottom corner. But out of nowhere, with their first shot on target, Adam Smith absolutely smashed the ball from the centre of the Manchester United box, and his apparent weaker foot, David De Gea, couldn't do anything about it. Even with that goal though, Manchester United finished the match 3-1 in what was a dominant performance. Ibrahimovic didn't have many touches inside the box, but when he did, he looked like he'd score. But he got his goal from 25 yards out, and Manchester United did get the win, 3-1. So we'll move on to Manchester City versus Sunderland, and possibly the worst start that you could get from a Sunderland point of view, as Sterling makes his way into the box and is brought down by Van Arnold. Sergio Aguero smashes the penalty in, and the favourites to win the league took an early lead here. The game really didn't have anything apart from a few near chances, but nothing really special until the 70th minute when Sunderland striker Jermaine Defoe ended up one-on-one with City keeper Willy Caballero after a beautiful ball through from Adnan Januzaj, who was on loan from Manchester United, and squeezed the ball under the Argentine to level the score for Sunderland. However, in the 87th minute, Paddy McNair, the Sunderland substitute, scored. Unfortunately for him though, it's in his own net. After Jesus Navas came running down the wing, he put in a bouncing cross and the ball fizzled into the net off of the head of the Sunderland defender. So the Premier League favourites did end up on the victorious end of this match, however not as many people thought they would. City played a lot more possession football. You'd expect them to knock Sunderland off by a few goals at least. Sunderland fans won't be happy about the result, but should be happy about the way their team played. They were aggressive and did well in defending City's attack force, and City fans will probably look on the game on the opposite. We're happy with the result, but a bit worried about how their team played this match. City in the end quite luckily to get 3 points. So we'll move on to Burnley versus Swansea. The game looked as if it was going to end goalless, however Swansea did a late robbery of the points as Jefferson Montero runs down the left wing and whips the ball into the box and finds the head of new signing Fernando Llorente. However, his header is saved, but Burnley keeper Tom Heaton couldn't get the ball away, and Leroy Fer is in the right place at the right time and is able to put the ball into the net and snatches the win for his club. We'll move on to Crystal Palace versus West Brom. The game was silent until the 74th minute when Solomon Rondon found the bottom corner of the net following a header from a James McClean free kick. Alan Pardew is having a hard time recently as the Crystal Palace manager, and this loss isn't going to help his cause very much. And just as I'm recording this, it has been reported that Everton have bought Yannick Bolasie, which is possibly Crystal Palace's best player, so Crystal Palace are fucked. And speaking of Everton, we'll move on to Everton versus Tottenham Hotspur. The game started off the best way possible for Everton. Ross Barkley hit a free kick from about 30 yards out, which was clearly a cross. However, it missed everyone, including the goalkeeper, and it finds its way into the back of the net. 20 minutes into the second half, however, Tottenham came forward down the wing and Kyle Walker sticks across into the box and Eric Lamela is able to head it into the net and make it 1-1. Going into half time, you would think that it would be Everton's win as Tottenham just didn't show up at all in the first half, but Spurs came out and dominated the second half and got the equaliser, and the game all in all ended 1-1. So we move on to our next game, Chelsea versus West Ham. West Ham fans would have been excited before the game to see their new player Andre Ayew to perform on his West Ham debut. Unfortunately for the striker, he had to leave the pitch 33 minutes into his debut. The former Swansea player had the right leg of his short rolled up and he hobbled off the pitch. He did walk off, so hopefully it isn't too serious. The game was pretty dull in the first half, nothing but a few close chances from Hazard and Ivanovic, but a minute into the second half, Mikel Antonio fouls Azpilicueta and the referee pointed to the spot. Eden Hazard stepped up to take the penalty and he was not kidding around, laces through it straight down the middle. Eden Hazard gets Chelsea's first goal of the season. But West Ham, with their first shot on target, equalised the score. Dimitri Payet swings in a corner and the big defender James Collins heads the ball and it appears to hit Azpilicueta's arm. But whilst Collins was appealing for a penalty, the ball falls kindly onto his left foot and the Welsh international takes a swing and the ball flies past Courtois into the back of the net. The game looked like it was going to end all square, but Chelsea had other ideas. Nemanja Matic hits a lofting ball for the debuting Chelsea striker Batshuayi, who then flicks it onto his strike partner Diego Costa. Costa, who you can argue shouldn't be on the pitch after being booked earlier in the match and then committing a foul on the West Ham keeper, who many will argue is a second bookable offence, takes a touchdown and strikes the ball low through the legs of James Collins and into the bottom corner. And that is how it ended. Plenty to be happy about for both sides, but a bit of controversy surrounding the winning goal scorer Diego Costa. In my opinion, he should have been sent off after the foul he committed on West Ham keeper Adrian, but nonetheless, Chelsea win the North London derby 2-1. We'll move on to Middlesbrough vs Stoke City. The man on loan Alvaro Negredo gave Middlesbrough their first goal back in the Premier League after Gaston Ramirez headed the ball back across the goal and Negredo was able to convert it with his shoulder. The newly promoted side was able to keep the lead into the half until Xherdan Shaqiri converted a free kick from about 20 yards out, which Victor Valdez couldn't reach in the end. Middlesbrough's first game in the Premier League in 7 years ended in a draw, and the team who will be happiest with a draw here will be Middlesbrough. You've got to think Stoke would have wanted a win over the newly promoted side, but Borough were able to hang on for a draw, and it ended 1-1. So we'll move on to the last game of this episode, Southampton vs Watford. Only 10 minutes were needed for Watford to find their first goal of the season, and it was their new signing Etienne Capoue? I'm going to go Capoue. Watford skipper Troy Deeney headed the ball down and Capoue was able to smash it in from point blank range for Watford. The lead would last for the rest of the first half, however Nathan Redmond on his Southampton debut was able to stick the ball into the bottom left after Aurelio Gomez punches the ball into the air and it falls straight to Redmond following a corner. Things got worse for Watford after Ben Watson got himself sent off in the 76th minute after only being on the pitch for 12. He was in a race with Shane Long and he tugged on the shirt of the Irishman. As he was the last defender, he headed for an early bath. Even with a man sent off though, Watford were able to cling on for the point. Right, so that is all the fixtures talked about, so let's have a look at the table after the first week. Obviously though, the table after the first week is pretty pointless, but let's have a look anyway. So as we take a look at the table, you can see Manchester United are in first place with a win and they are above on goal difference. Liverpool in second. I don't know why Chelsea are below Liverpool because they're on the same goal difference, and normally if you're on the same goal difference and the same amount of points it goes in alphabetical order. So I don't know why Chelsea are below Liverpool on the league. Maybe it's because Liverpool scored more, I don't know. But Liverpool are second, then it goes Chelsea in third, Hull City in fourth, Manchester City in fifth, again going in alphabetical order. We'll take a look at the bottom three. Burnley, Crystal Palace and Bournemouth prop up the bottom of the table. But like I said earlier, it's the first week. The table in the first week means nothing at this point. It's all still to play for. So we'll take a look at the league top scorers as well. As you can see, Philippe Coutinho at the top following his 2 goals against Arsenal, including that absolutely sexy free kick. You've got Adam Lallana, who I think is only second because he got an assist as well. Because if you look at the 3 underneath him, they don't have an assist, so I think that's how they're doing it. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain underneath Adam Lallana. Then you've got Juan Mata, who scored against Bournemouth, and Jermaine Defoe, who slotted the goal underneath the Man City keeper. Right, so that is everything we have for this week. If you did enjoy this, please leave a like on it to let us know that you enjoyed it and you want it to become a regular thing. Let me know in the comments below how you think your side will get on next week, and if you want to follow me on Twitter or subscribe to my personal YouTube channel, the links are in the description down below. I know that Jack expected me to really rub in the fact that Arsenal lost to Liverpool, but I'm not going to mention that Arsenal lost to Liverpool too much because I don't think he'll want reminding that Arsenal lost to Liverpool. But thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Did I mention that Arsenal lost to Liverpool?